What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TSO Sage and I'm back with another video. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm prepared for y'all to be mad, or at least the crayon eaters are gonna be mad. A lot of you guys are actually gonna like the list because it's me, my nigga. I know what I'm talking about. But all troll aside, if you guys aren't new to my channel, you know it's gonna get toxic because top 10 lists themselves are toxic. And I can self-reflect. I know I'm gonna say some wild shit on accident or on purpose, but hopefully that doesn't ruin the video for you. If you guys like the video, don't forget to like the video. And with that, let's get right to the top 10 point guards in the NBA. So coming in at number 10, we have DeAaron Fox. Now, admittingly, DeAaron Fox is that guy that everybody says is underrated just because they want to say he's underrated, but I would certainly agree that he is underappreciated. And I think that's because although everybody knows he's really good, he doesn't quite stand out. There are younger point guards who are more exciting than him or just simply better than him. But that shouldn't take away from the fact that DeAaron Fox is a well-improved defender, a well-improved shooter, even though it could definitely use some work, one hell of a slasher, and he can jump out the gym. A lot of people forgot about him because of another guy that I'll mention later in this video. His strengths, as I mentioned earlier, are certainly going to be his slashing ability and his defense. He's a pretty mid playmaker, but I wouldn't call it a weakness. However, his weakness would certainly be shooting. Just needs to improve his jump shot, and DeAaron Fox will certainly be okay. He won't be transcendent or anything like that, but he is 22, so only time can tell. Now, coming in at our number 9 spot is going to be Jamal Murray. For all the hype beast fans, please calm the hell down. Jamal Murray is a fucking bucket. In fact, the compliment is Jamal Murray being on this list. Jamal Murray, in terms of regular season performance and statistics, doesn't even belong on this list. We're solely judging him based on his massive improvement inside the bubble. And honestly, that in itself isn't jumping the gun. This dude pretty much had a 27-point 50-40-90 in the playoffs. This man Jamal Murray dropped 50 twice in the same series. And then following such a series, which he was also coming back from a 1-3 deficit, he comes back from another 1-3 deficit, but this time knocking off Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers. The same Clippers who, let's say, half the world thought was going to win a championship. I don't even need to waste too much time here. There were points in that playoff run people thought they should play through Jamal Murray over Nikola Jokic. And although I don't want to say too much about Jokic and leak where he could potentially be on my top 10 list, let's just say that man is really good at basketball. Jamal Murray was also a willing defender in the playoffs. I mean, so much was good for him. At this point, the only thing is I need consistency from him. I need to see more. It's just that simple. Jamal Murray's not going to retain those 26.5, 50-40-90 splits because if he did, he'd be a top 3-point guard without question. And although I didn't want to size him and put him anywhere in the top 5 or no dumb shit like that, I certainly couldn't disrespect him and leave him off the list. So although Jamal Murray being that good was definitely something new, he showed up when it matters most, and you can't ignore that but so much. Now, next up on the list at our number 8 spot is going to be Kyle Lowry. Although he's undoubtedly the thickest point guard in the NBA, he's certainly not the best. But I guess, pun intended, Kyle Lowry is a really well-rounded point guard. Pretty much being able to play in any system you put him in, Kyle Lowry can defend, shoot, create his own shot. Is actually a really underrated playmaker and leader for your franchise. And although his playoff resume isn't perfect by a long shot, I certainly wouldn't call him a guy that freezes up in the big moment. Which is honestly why I think this is a perfect spot for Kyle Lowry. There's bound to be some people who have him a spot or two higher, and I perfectly understand that. But to me, at least, I don't believe Kyle Lowry can handle the responsibility as being a solo star. Like, Kyle Lowry on a good team can get you good results, but if Kyle Lowry has to do everything, he would certainly crumble, and he definitely has a ceiling in terms of his scoring output. Like, when's the last time you were scared of Kyle Lowry dropping 40 on you? Regardless, he does still make the top 10 because he's Kyle Lowry. He's a proven player, an NBA champion, and again, there's not much on the court that he can't do that doesn't require absurd athleticism. And now that I'm sitting here actually watching Kyle Lowry play, is Kyle Lowry the best Raptor of all time? It sounds absurd, but when you really think about it, it's actually a debate. Moving on to our number 7 spot, though, we have the coward that is named Ben Simmons. Now, Ben Simmons is one of the best defenders in the NBA, let alone at point guard, has a massive height advantage over every other point guard on this list, has nothing short of insane efficiency inside the paint, and he's actually one of the better passers on this list as well. But you guessed it, and I'm not even gonna keep calling him a coward, I'm gonna just call him ignorant. I just don't know what in the fuck is wrong with this dude. Like, why won't he practice shooting the ball? I know he's not stupid, like, he has to be ignorant. It's no way he doesn't know that him practicing his jump shot and creating a jump shot for himself would make literally everything about the 76ers franchise better. And sure, right now he's getting paid, but he's getting paid because he's young and has all these gifts. If those tools don't end up building a great player, aka if he doesn't learn how to shoot the damn ball, not even a 3-pointer by the way, but a damn mid-range. But yeah, if he doesn't learn how to shoot the damn ball, you know what's gonna fucking happen to Ben Simmons? He ain't gonna get paid for shit because he's gonna be seen as a very ignorant ass motherfucker who doesn't care about winning. I just can't stand when a nigga doesn't try to get better, bro, especially when they're young, bro. It's just ignorant and stupid. But regardless, if Ben Simmons never got a jump shot, he would still be a really good player. He probably belongs at center at that point, and he definitely belongs on this list. But Ben Simmons pisses me off sometimes, bro. When he gets a jump shot, he's gonna be the next LeBron James. Yeah, okay, but he won't shoot the fucking ball, bro. And just imagine if LeBron came into the league and refused to shoot the ball. His jump shot was broke as fuck. But what if he chose to literally never shoot the ball? Like, this nigga really thinks he's the shit already, and he has no heart in his fucking game, and it pisses me off, bro. But I gotta move on. Oh, bro, another, it gets worse. Number 6, we have Russell Westbrook, the polar opposite of Ben Simmons. This nigga don't give a fuck. He'll shoot anything. He certainly cares about the game, and as a result, him caring about the game makes him a great player. Like, this nigga has Naruto Part 1 ideology, bro. If I want to be Hokage one day, I really can be Hokage one day. Nah, bro, you gotta actually work for it. As I said in literally my last video, Russell Westbrook wanting to win a basketball game doesn't mean he has the intangibles to win a basketball game. But despite being so fucking stupid, this man did average a triple-double for 3 straight seasons. And although I critique how he can win games, I go in that in terms of winning a championship. It's definitely something to be said that Russell Westbrook simply being on the roster almost guarantees you a playoff spot. Russell Westbrook's talent is insane, but it's not perfect. He does need to improve his jump shot. And although I'm not saying he has a bad handle, he certainly has a wild dribbling style. He does need to control the ball a lot better. A lot of the times people look at turnovers and go to passing, and yes, Russell Westbrook does turn the ball over as a passer, but there's also several times he gets ripped or even worse, loses control of the ball and he's in the fucking NBA. That's not supposed to happen. But yeah, knowing YouTube comment sections, a lot of you guys are gonna be mad he's not the illustrious 5th. Like, this one spot triggered you, bro. You call someone the GOAT and you borderline dick sucking him, but you put him as the 2nd best player of all time, and it's, oh shit, you're a hater. You put a motherfucker 6 on your list and you're sleeping on him, but you put him 5th and you're sicing him. Like, can someone help me understand why being ranked 10th on something is more commendable than being ranked 6th, 4th, or 2nd on something? Like, yeah, he's a crayon eater, but I don't think he's ass. He's top 6. But Westbrook is certainly a player that gives and takes. And although I think the pros outweigh the cons, hence why he's on the goddamn list, I think there's many negatives to his games, especially in the playoffs, that hurt his team more than they helped the team. Which, even though my top 5 isn't necessarily perfect, I certainly can't say that about anybody in it. And that top 5 starts off with Trey Young. Now, again, you could easily argue Russell Westbrook is a better talent than Trey Young. But in terms of latent ability and talent, Trey Young and maybe his co-star John Collins were really the only 2 good things to mention about the Hawks until the offseason. And with all the good additions the Hawks added, I firmly believe now we're going to see Trey Young's talent translate to wins. And besides, I'm playing devil's advocate for Russell Westbrook's talent being over Trey Young's. If we're going to look at it from a more fair perspective, Trey Young's talent isn't something you just brush off. A criminally underrated playmaker. I believe at worst he has the 4th best handles on this list. Granted, he doesn't shoot it a lot, but whenever he does, he has a solid mid-range game and is easily at worst the 4th best shooter on this list. In fact, Trey Young is one of the 3 guys who cross half court and you have to check him. Now, Trey Young's game is certainly immature and he doesn't play any goddamn defense, but I believe those weaknesses aren't quite enough to put him below the top 5. And side note, I know a lot of you guys are going to point towards his 29 points per game as him just stat padding or something. And fair enough, I would certainly be surprised if Trey Young averaged 30 next season. But for the slight decline in points per game, I'm expecting a massive increase in efficiency. For the love of God, the Hawks were ranked 22nd in field goal percentage and 30th in 3-point shooting. Now that he isn't quite literally the only person that you respect with the ball in his hand, Trey Young's scoring is going to be just fine next season. And while I'm on the subject of efficiency, number 4 on the list is Chris Paul. Now, we all know about Chris Paul. He's not going to be the guy that goes out and averages 30 a night. But if Chris Paul need to drop 30 on any given night, he certainly will. But Chris Paul always will sacrifice his scoring output for the greater good of the team. He's at worst the 2nd best defender on this list, an all-time great passer, an all-time great playmaker, and even though he hasn't necessarily won the finals, he definitely has winning intangibles. Speaking of him not winning the finals, one major concern about Chris Paul is his health. The best ability is still technically availability, and sometimes Chris Paul is just simply not there. In fact, you could easily argue Chris Paul belongs in the top 3. But to me personally, I had to edge him out because at the end of the day, his scoring output just isn't there. I know I said if Chris Paul needs to drop 30, he can drop 30, but let's say if Chris Paul needs to drop 30 on a consistent basis or needs to drop even higher than 30 on certain games, that wouldn't be the same Chris Paul that we all know. If Chris Paul were to go out there and just say I'm dropping 50 tonight, he would be less efficient, correlate to less wins. You would be nerfing his playmaking, which he's literally best at. In all likelihood, it would lead to a major sacrifice on the defensive end. Versus the other guys in the top 3 scoring 40 or 50 literally makes every part of their game better. And even with everything I just said, I'm playing devil's advocate for my own list. It's still possible you could argue Chris Paul being in the top 3. He's a great player. But at the end of the day, I gotta side with the guys whose scoring output can literally depress you. And that starts with number 3 on the list, who would be Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie gets a lot of shit for being a terrible leader, and rightfully so. If it wasn't for Ben Simmons, he'd be the worst leader on this list. But although I definitely value being a good leader, hence why Chris Paul is in the top 5, his lack of leadership doesn't nullify his talent. Kyrie has arguably the best handle of all time, and he can get to any part of the court at any given point in time. In addition to that, Kyrie is also one of the best finishers of all time. And it gets worse because you put all of those things together and then realize this dude is one of the best shooters in the league. And Kyrie isn't a defensive liability, at least when he tries to play defense. I'll admit he's a very unwilling defender. Kyrie is also one of the more underappreciated NBA champions I've ever seen. Yes, LeBron James was his fucking teammate, but y'all were bitching in 2015 when Kyrie wasn't on the goddamn squad. And the following season, yeah, LeBron dropped 42 in game 5. You want to know who else dropped 42 in game 5? Kyrie Irving. You want to know who hit the last shot in game 7? Kyrie Irving. I know everything regarding LeBron LeBron James just instantly goes to GOAT debate. And I know in terms of media, Kyrie is fucking insane sometimes, but give him his credit. Now, fair enough, one good argument in terms of me having to lower Kyrie on this list would certainly be his playoff performance in Boston. And hopefully my channel has earned the credibility of not being an apologist for everything, but let's just keep it 100 here. Kyrie clearly didn't give a fuck about anything that happened in Boston. I forgot what game and interview it was, but Kyrie just came off of a dog shit performance, and the reporter asked him about his performance, and Kyrie was like, should have shot more. I knew off the rip Kyrie to Boston wasn't going to be a good idea, and they should have built around Tatum and Brown. And it's no coincidence that one of the more clutch players of all time goes to Brooklyn, drops 37 of his 20 games in Brooklyn, and just looks like an exponentially better nigga that we saw in Boston. Regardless, the point is, I really don't care if you have Chris Paul over Kyrie or Kyrie over Chris Paul. It was certainly a hard thing for me to decide on, so I know the comment section gonna go crazy over that. But even though I side with Kyrie, y'all gotta stop disrespecting this man just because he's not the best leader in the world. Leadership does matter, but my God, it's Kyrie fucking Irving. But the leadership sentiment doesn't go for number 2 on this list, and number 2 would be Damian Lillard. The they sleep on Dame thing is no longer a thing. Everybody knows what Damian Lillard is about. The fusion of athleticism and skill is something off the charts. Because how can a guy who can posterize pretty much any given big on any given night simultaneously be a guy you have to check from the logo? And the scary part is he should be more efficient than he is right now. Damian Lillard, although he can definitely hit the shot, tends to fall in love with deep threes. But considering he's Damian Lillard, you still gotta check that shit even if it's a quote bad shot. That's not even an opinion. Go ahead and ask Paul George about that. And although he's not the best at it, he's certainly a willing defender. Quite frankly, I'm not gonna lie, there's not a lot of weaknesses in Damian Lillard's game outside of defense. I already addressed the fact that he shoots a lot of deep threes when he doesn't need to, and I suppose he could be a little bit better of a passer, but at the end of the day, that's just nitpicking. This dude is insanely talented on offense, and it only elevates in the clutch. So who the hell could possibly be better than Damian Lillard? Well, I ain't gonna lie, Dame, that's tough because the nigga above you, Ladies and gentlemen, meet Steph Curry. In terms of talent or resume, Dame just doesn't stack up, and it's really not his fucking fault. I give Dame athleticism. You wanna talk about shooting? Steph Curry. Finishing at the rim? Funny enough, outside of just yamming on a motherfucker, the answer is Steph Curry. Pure handle? Steph Curry. Mid-range game? Steph Curry. Off-ball movement? Steph Curry. Passing? Steph Curry. Playmaking overall? Steph Curry. And funny enough, neither are solid on defense, not by any stretch of the means whatsoever, but Curry gets a lot of shit for being a bad defender when really he's only targeted on defense because you're either gonna go at him or you're gonna go at Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, a nigga like Jordan Bell or Bogut or some shit, and Kevin Durant. Like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and attack the 6'3" light skin and Under Armours. You're goddamn right. But even though I would probably personally side with Dame, I could definitely see the argument that Steph's actually a better defender than him too. It's not me slandering Dame Lillard, but we're comparing him to Steph Curry, unanimously the second best point guard of all time at this point. And I really can't take the Dame versus Steph argument seriously because the people who argue Dame say he's a better shooter. Like, if that's your argument, all right, bro, you got it, bro. Go ahead, bro. But Dame Lillard has never been that MVP level talent, and considering situations, if he was, he definitely would have one. Obviously, Steph Curry's career shits on Dame's, but you want to know the worst part about them niggas that really think Dame's better than Steph? Why didn't he beat him? In 2016, they literally matched up in the second round. This was before Kevin Durant and before y'all go, oh, he was on a 73-9 team. Yeah. You want to know why they were 73-9? Dumbass. But anyway, yeah, they match up, and while Mr. Dame time over here is only shooting about 40% once that entire series. You want to know what Curry was doing? Sitting on the bench. Curry didn't play until game 4 and 5. And it wasn't even a testament towards Klay Thompson or the Warriors playing good. That nigga Dame was really decking that shit. Then the nigga Curry come back and shit was a GG. He dropped 40 points in game 4, and by game 5, we all knew the shit was over. In 2017, they meet up again, and guess what? Dame decks it again. Mr. He shoots better than Steph Curry over here shot 28% from the 3-point line. And I know y'all already thinking, 2017? Oh yeah, Kevin Durant was there. Yeah, you sure do wish he did play, but nah, Kevin Durant had a strained calf. He played game 1, sat game 2 and 3. In game 4, he technically played, but he only shot the ball 7 times. If Kevin Durant shooting the ball 7 times was, oh shit, for you, go ahead. So while Dame was throwing up bricks from 3 and averaged a very inefficient 27.8 points, averaging 3 assists along with 3 turnovers, this man Steph Curry, on the other hand, and I'll even take out the game Kevin Durant played for real, was averaging a more efficient 30, especially from the 3-point line. Oh, but Sage, Damian Lillard really wasn't that guy until 2019-2020. Young, that's real crazy. They played in 2019 too. And this time, not only did Kevin Durant not play, but remember the fact that they got Kevin Durant, the team was a lot worse? Remember all that shit. Yeah, don't say in 2019 finals, oh, Curry didn't have a squad, but then against Damian Lillard, he stacked. And it's at this point, I pity the Dame stans. You wanna know what Curry did to you motherfuckers? This nigga Curry, oh my God, averaged 36.5 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, shot 42.6% from the 3-point line, and 47 from the field overall. Dog dog. Can we stop playing with this man's life, dog? Like, bro, what the fuck? What the hell? It's bad enough Curry balled out. It's bad enough it was a sweep. But guess what? History repeats itself one final time. This nigga Dame, on the other hand, averaged 22 points, 8.5 assists, 5 rebounds on 37% shooting from the field and 3-point range. The only thing Dame beating Steph Curry in is a box jump in a rap battle. But while y'all over there talking about your rap save, your logo Lillard Dame time, motherfucker, I got my 6'3" light skin and Under Armours as the #1 point guard in the NBA. So yeah, I don't know why I did that shit just now. I don't know why I violated that nigga like that. Well, actually, yes, the fuck I do, because I'm so tired of seeing people say Dame over Steph Curry just because Steph Curry didn't play this season. And hopefully you get the gist by now, but if you don't, listen here, motherfucker, that shit ain't close. I let niggas debate Trey Young versus Simmons or Trey Young versus Westbrook. I let niggas debate Kyrie versus CP3. But this Dame Curry shit, dog, tighten the fuck up. And with all of that being said, I guess I'm registered a Dame hater now. Even though I'm really not, but I'm not gonna make a I Heart Damian Lillard video. And you know what? I'm already violating niggas. I might as well mention the certain niggas that weren't good enough to make the list. If John Wall is the same exact guy he was 2 years ago, no shit, Sherlock, he's on the list, but I clearly don't know if he's the same guy he was 2 years ago, so yeah. Fred VanVleet and Spencer Dinwiddie are fucking backups to point guards who are literally on the list. Ja Morant is not better than DeAaron Fox. Ja Morant is not better than DeAaron Fox. Ja Morant is not better than DeAaron Fox. Fuck. He probably has more upside than Fox. Hell, he has more upside than some of the niggas who are literally on the list. But today, you're bugging the fuck out, my guy. Kemba Walker is off the list because my God, bro fell off. He doesn't even look better than Jaylen Brown right now. And fair enough, it might just literally be a matter of situation, but in my opinion, that nigga is not hooping and he will pay for what he owes. D'Angelo Russell might be a top 10 fig, but that's about it. So nah, I still fuck with D-Lo. But you know who else I fuck with who clearly doesn't belong here? And this shit pissed me off too on that video. Derrick Rose is not a top 10 point guard. Oh my God. You know how many crayon eating motherfuckers was in the comments talking about some, what are you talking about? He is an all-star. In this video, every single point guard I've literally referenced or named is better than Derrick Rose. What now? The literal only argument you might have is John Wall, and that's if he's dog shit. Every other point guard is quite clearly better than Derrick Rose. Saying he's not top 10 is not hating Derrick Rose. But you know what? Keep munching your bullshit ass crayons and bring up his per 36 or whatever dumb shit you have to try to tell me that he's better than anyone I've named on this list when he's so clearly not. Everybody always got some kind of knee joke when it comes to my man Rage, but I swear to God, y'all knees hurt even worse for Derrick Rose, bro. Tighten the fuck up. Please. It is what it is. I said what I said. I know some of you motherfuckers wanted your rant. You finally got one, or a little bit of one. I don't know if that shit count as a rant, but it is what it is. It kind of pissed me off, I guess. But regardless, if you like the video, please like the video. I'm gonna start giving your asses like goals in a minute too, because that black and white video was fire. Y'all niggas ain't like that shit, and I don't know why the fuck y'all ain't like that shit. I'm not gonna lie, that was the first video I saw do bad, and that actually hurt my feelings. I was like, damn, I spit nothing but facts in that joint. Ain't nobody watch it. You know what? Yeah, you motherfuckers is getting a like goal. I need 2,000 likes and I'll drop the shooting guard video. So on that note, if you guys like the video, like the video. If you like my content, subscribe. Why the fuck are you watching my shit and you're not subscribed? And on that note, it's been your boy CSO Sage. I'm prepared for war in that comment section. I love you all. Take care and stay blessed.
Bust out Rolly Avalanche. Yeah, my old bitch average. This my first time rapping it. I might go retarded shit. Bentley coupe, I'm dashing it. Standing my money, I'm toilet shit. Told them don't you doubt the kid. Told them don't you doubt the kid. I ran up 30 on 30 on 30. When I'm in the streets, I stay too sturdy. 2x2 Hellcat, go fast. 4x4 limb truck on the gas. I'm only 18 with big jeans. Before 18, I seen things feeling like a big champ with 6 rings or a bumblebee with 16.
Stop all that capping.